What's going on, guys? How you going? Welcome back to another vid. We didn't do one yesterday to drop today, so we're doing one today to drop today, and I'll probably do another one today to drop tomorrow, because that's how I like to do things. I like to try and be a day ahead of myself, so I like to be able to do the videos. And I didn't do the podcast or the video together yesterday. I just did the potty, so I'll put the link to the podcast in the description if you want to go and listen to yesterday's podcast. If you like the videos, please share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. So, you know, if you find something valuable out of it, that's really the aim here, and the main goal for me is to add and create value in whoever's watching this. So whether, you know, your life or someone you might share it with, you know. So at the end of the day, that's all we want to do here, is we want to create and add value into areas of your life and lifestyle where you're probably not getting that, you know, whether it's encouragement, positivity, enlightenment, understanding something that you don't quite understand. So yesterday we talked about on the podcast, I'll just briefly talk about it. It was about the Constitution, the Australian Constitution, and what your free rights are as an Australian citizen, which not many people actually understand and know. For some reason, they don't think they realise that they can get hold of the Australian Constitution whenever they feel like it. The Australian Constitution is made available to the Australian public and to the Australian citizen because it has to be, okay? You have a right as a citizen to know and understand your Constitution and your constitutional rights. You know, people, I don't know, Australians might be laxy-daisy when it comes to their Constitution, and it's not about patriotism. It's not about being patriotic. It's not about being gung-ho, like, you know, like many of my American friends. They are very patriotic people, and that's how things are done over there. It's a very patriotic country. Australia, on the other hand, is a very laxy-daisy country, with the old she'll be right attitude. You know, she'll be right, mate. She'll be right. You know, COVID-19. You know, look, we're going to be locked down in our houses for 6 months. She'll be right. Well, it's not right. For starters, it's not right. It's not she'll be right. People are ripping Donald Trump right now because, you know, some states are now starting to stand up for their rights to be able to leave their house whenever they want. They're starting to question their restrictions and ask their state government, their state bodies, what the hell's going on? Why can't we leave our house? This is becoming a joke. Eventually, as history really actually points out, Australia won't be far behind that. Okay, there will be people here that will start doing the same thing. It's going to happen, and guess what? And this is basically the point of the video today, is those people are going to be doing something because they believe in that cause. I'm one of them. I'm not going to, you know, lie. I'm not going to go and stand outside a police station and protest. I'm just going to, you know, I'll use Facebook, and I'll use YouTube, and I'll use my podcast platform to protest. I'll use Twitter. You know, there are many ways and many forms that we can use the platforms to protest what we don't believe in, and sort of let people know what we do believe in. And that brings me back to the point of the Constitution. The Constitution clearly states that we have the right to free speech and to express it, okay, in a lawful manner. Okay, so I just want you to get that clear. If you're an Australian citizen and you watch this, in Australia you have the right to free speech and to express it freely, okay, in a lawful manner, okay, and you've got to respect other people's opinions and point of views and not bring harm on them. Okay, it's really not that hard. It's really simple stuff. It's actually just being a good human. You know, it's being a good bloke, or good woman. You know, all men and women are equal in Australia. That's you know, it's a given. You know, if you don't know the Constitution, or you don't know the citizen, the free right, what our citizenship rights are, you can go to the government website and you can find them. You know, they're right there in front of you. They're not hard to find. They're not hidden in a location unknown in the back of the library where there's like 400 spots of other stuff in the way. It's not like that. It's literally just type in the keywords Constitution, citizen, and it'll come up. You know, that's how Google works. It works on keyword searching. That's how the internet works. It works on keyword searching. So enough people research this shit, and you'll be able to find it a lot faster. So that's to bring the point to the video is that people are going to start protesting everywhere. They already are. Michigan the other day, Berlin, Germany the other day. There's places in America right now that are absolutely going off. And our media here in Australia absolutely slammed Donald Trump and blamed him for it. You know what? I don't blame him. You know, he wants his country to be open, he wants his economy, he wants his people. Without the economy, we starve. We literally starve, okay? There were places in the UK that stopped selling seeds for people to grow their own stuff. So people were looking to buy seeds because they didn't know what was going to happen, they don't know what was going to go in the economy, they didn't know whether they were going to be able to afford to buy groceries or, you know, at least vegetables and fruit and stuff like that. They didn't know that. They didn't know what was going to happen. So they were trying to prepare themselves so that in the future they don't have to be so reliant on the system. And that's the problem. We're so reliant on a system that is broken. It's broken. It's not, the system's not great. It's not. No system's great. Anything that's got anything to do with a human being involved is never great. It's never perfect. It never will be perfect. Okay, Donald Trump is not a perfect human being, but he stands up for what he believes in, and he gets shit done that he believes in, and he looks after the people that he wants to look after. He doesn't believe that everybody should be suffering. Everybody should be winning. He believes in that. He believes that all the people at the bottom of the rung that have been at the bottom of the rung for decades and decades and decades deserve an opportunity of a slice of it. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, he's not a perfect human being. No, he's made mistakes. Every human being makes mistakes. That's part of being a human. The difference between that though is do you learn from your mistakes or do you continue to keep making them? The bloke was a billionaire in the 80s. He was a billionaire in the 80s. He's pretty smart. He's not stupid. He knows how money works. He knows how to make money work. He knows how to create. He knows how to build a fortune, and that's what he wants to do for the American people. I can't really say that much about Scott Morrison because I don't really know what he is doing. I really don't. I don't. I mean, I give the guy credit. He is having some long ass days, and he's trying his very best. But that's not the point. What's the point? I'm off track. The point of the video is that just because you disagree with someone, you don't need to go picking fights just because you disagree. I had a status the other day about Donald Trump. I said, as much people rag on this bloke, as much as people rag on him, which means, you know, pull him down and tear him down and mouth off about him and say he's not a good bloke. Even though people say that about him, he gets on with the job, he gets on with doing what he wants, and he gets on doing what he believes in what's right. People think he hasn't done a good job. He got over 3 million black Americans off food stamps. He lowered the unemployment rate in ethnic people, in blacks, mainly blacks. His entire staff is mixed race. There are people that are black, there are people that are white, there are people that look like an Asian. His entire staff are all different people. And people call him a racist and a bigot, and they try and pull him down. But you see, I know what he's done. And this is the point of the video. If you post something on Facebook or Twitter or whatnot, first of all, make sure that you know what the facts are. right? Look at both sides of the story. Well, I will say this in every single video. All right, know the story from both sides, right? Know the story from both sides, because every story has two sides. Every story, okay? Every story has two sides. Example, my son threw a cup at my daughter the other day, but what was the other side of the story? If I hadn't taken the time to understand why he threw the cup, then I would have went off at him. But he retaliated, you see, because I had to listen to the other side of the story. I took in the other side. Guess what? My daughter had pushed him. No wonder he threw a cup at her. It was a plastic cup, by the way, one of those play kitchen cups. So no wonder he threw a cup at her. There's every side. Every story has a side. Every side. There's that person's side, and then that person's side. And what you got to do is try to decipher it and digest it and break it down, and then come and form your opinion or your decision or whatever you've got to form the outcome with your own brain and your own investigative mind. You can't just go, oh, well, that's what they said, that must be right. Okay, I'm going to preach that all the time, because that's silly. That's silly. Okay, right? People are waking up. Bill Gates is getting absolutely fucking hammered at the moment on Facebook, on Twitter, on social media. He is getting slammed. I watched a video yesterday where he even slipped up in an interview, and he said, he was talking about controlling deaths in kids. Controlling deaths in kids. I don't care how much fucking money you have. I really don't. You could be the richest man on the entire planet. I really don't care. I've two shits about that. What I do care about is the fact that you think that you can control everything because you have the most money. That's not how we work as humans. Human beings don't work like that. Okay, we're conditioned to that because that's how we've been desensitized over the last 50 to 100 years, longer. But yeah, do your research, understand what the person's talking about. If you don't agree, that's fine. But literally, I sent a message to a friend of mine, and I said, don't worry about getting involved in my status, because if I posted a picture of an orange, and those people were told it was a fucking apple, they would say it was an apple. Just to be different, just to disagree, which is, I'm starting to have no time for people like that. I'm starting to realize how small-minded that is. I'm starting to realize how that's people like that are definitely not worth having in life. In like, not in life, I'm not killing them, obviously. I'm not in having those kind of people in my life. Do you know what I mean? Because those kind of people are only going to just keep continuing to. Now, every status I've put up, these people have disagreed. Every single status. None of them have agreed. None have agreed. None. Even though the facts are there, even though the statistics are there, even though that there's more than me saying it, they disagree. And that's okay. They can do that. That's their free will, and their free right, and their freedom of speech and expressing it. They're entitled to that. Everybody's entitled to that. But when does it come to the point psychologically where it just becomes, I'm just going to post on that just to see if I can get a fish. I'm going to post on that just to see if I can get him to wind up. I'm just going to post on that to disagree just to see what I can get out of it. That don't disagree. If that's the end game of disagreeing with someone, then you've got fuck all doing, haven't you? You may as well go for a walk or walk the dog. I haven't engaged on that status at all, except for one person who understands, who got it, who understands Trump, understands what's going on, who understands that there's more than just, literally, like, I walked out of the house today and Channel 7 were promoting life insurance. Like, what the fuck? You want people to buy life insurance now? Why? People are dying. I heard the Dr. Bricks or Burks or whatever her fucking name is. She's on Trump's team. She's like, oh, we don't have the flu anymore. Where's the flu gone? Where's it gone? I haven't heard a pinch of shit about the flu. I'm beginning to wonder if COVID-19 is just the new strand of the flu, and it's something to distract us from something else. I have fucking no idea what we're getting distracted from, but all I know is it doesn't seem right, and I will speak up. I will speak up. I will tell people that I don't appreciate being locked in my house. I will tell people that I don't appreciate having to look over my shoulder when I go for a drive. I will not appreciate the fact that when I come here where I am now, I'm in my Turtle Shell fitness gear, I'm ready to train a personal training client, that I have to be mindful that I might get asked, what are we doing? Why is there two people here? When we're clearly allowed to. I got to be mindful of that. Shouldn't be mindful of that. Shout out to Isabel Lucas, absolute legend. I posted her yesterday on Instagram. She's awake. She's understanding. She knows what's going on. She's awesome. You know. So Isabel Lucas, if you ever watch this, thanks, mate. Thanks for getting back to me on the comment. Thanks for liking me comment, basically, about free speech and the Constitution. You're a superstar. Keep voicing your opinion. Keep voicing what your point of view is. Keep speaking your mind, because eventually enough people doing it will let other people realise that, hang on a minute, there's actually something going on here. There's a movement. This isn't right. So that's the point. So if you're one of them people that isn't liking the fact you're locked up, talk about it. Tell people it's not right. Okay, I'm not happy about it. I mean, I got to do it because I can't afford the 16 grand fine. But if I could afford it, I'm telling you now, I'd be doing normal shit, because I really don't. This is ridiculous. Our Prime Minister said to us yesterday that if he backtracked as well, by the way, he backtracked. He said that it was compulsory, and then he said it was optional to get a tracking app. He wants us to get a tracking app. He wants to get us on a tracking app so we can track and they can trace us, so they can see where we're going and what we're doing all the time. We can already do that, by the way, on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, go to your little buttons at the top, and then press that, and then go down to settings and privacy, go down to and scroll down. You'll see since February, that update in February, they added logging activity offline. Logging activity offline. So Facebook can actually see what you're doing when you're not on Facebook. That's pretty crazy, huh? Turn that motherfucker off. Okay, those people don't need to see what you're doing and what you're researching and what you're up to. Okay, him and his fake ass fact checker. Like, you're gonna get someone to fact check what people are saying, what scientists are saying, what qualified professionals in the science field are saying, because it's not what the grain of salt is on the mainstream. It's weird, isn't it? You got to question things like that. Why are they fact checking that? If these guys are qualified and 20-year veterans in science, and they know about viruses and epidemiology, but because they're not on the news telling you what the other guys are telling you, and they're telling you something different and waking you up and making you realize that this is something different, because it's something different, they've got to have a fact checker. And you know who his fact checker is? Someone who worked in Wuhan, in the lab. Of course she's going to tell you that it's false. She wants to keep a job. Anybody in their right mind would know that. They want to keep their job. It's about security. Right, you're going to fact check everything these guys are saying about the coronavirus, about Wuhan lab, and about China. Of course she's going to tell you it's false. Otherwise she's not going to get paid. And she can't put food on the table for her and her family, or her and a dog, or her and a cat. Whoever. Okay? That's just silly. That's not fact checking. That's just hiding the truth. That's hiding the truth. And you can't hide the truth. Okay? You can't keep talking shit all the time, because guess what? Shit eventually floats. Shit will rise to the top. And when it does, man, it'll stink. And then you will be like, fuck, he was right. They were right. These people were right. We should have listened. But you can't. Okay? Put your snuggy little blanket on. Put your little comforter on. Okay? I want to leave you with one lasting thing here, Australians. If hydroxychloroquine is such a successful drug, and it's successful. It's worked. It's working. It's cured so many people from COVID-19. Why aren't we using it here? Why are we not using hydroxychloroquine here in Australia? Because there is no patent. And no patent means no money. And no money means they won't sell it. Okay? They're not here to help us. They're not here to save your loved ones. They're not helping. That's not helping. They got warehouses full of it. Full of it. But they won't use it because it's got no patent. No patent means they can't sell it. If they can't sell it, they can't make money. So guess what? We could have less deaths than we have in Tasmania, in New South Wales, in Queensland, in South Australia, okay, or Northern Territory, or the ACT, or Western Australia. We could have less deaths if we were using hydroxychloroquine. It is proven to work. There are hundreds of doctors who've come out and said within 12 hours to 18 hours, their patients have recovered immensely from COVID-19. Big Pharma doesn't want you to get. They don't want you to. They don't want you to be cured. They want you to be dependent so that you go to the pharmacy and keep on buying what they're selling. That's how it works. Okay, I know. I've got a client who was diabetic. I've got a client who had depression. I had a client who had high blood pressure. I have a client that had all these issues. Arthritis in the knees. Okay? I had a client with all this stuff that she had to go to the doctor once a month, every month to get her scripts. She doesn't get them anymore because she's healthy. Her body healed itself through exercise, through a better balanced lifestyle. Her body healed itself. She had high blood pressure. It's normal now. She was a diabetic. She doesn't have diabetes anymore. She was 125 kilos. She's now 79. She weighs less than me. She's healthier mentally. She doesn't need antidepressants to zone her out. She gets naturally high off working out. People need to start seeing this. People need to start realizing that, there are better options than... I know for a fact, I know what antidepressants do to people. I know. I grew up watching it. I understand how it works. I've seen it. I've seen this stuff. Anyway, that's my video. I'm going to go, leave you on that note, and I'm going to go get my shoes on and get ready for a bit of one-on-one training. Take care.